First thing I want to say is a huge thank you for joining me on this journey. I hope you've enjoyed it and found it insightful and inspirational. Now, without sounding too cliche, this really is just the beginning, and my main focus here is to encourage you to continue to practice wherever that might be, in person or online. I would love you to join me for part 2 of the course, where we deepen our understanding of meditation, look at some new techniques and different ways in which we can include meditation in our day-to-day life. Now let's start lesson 5. Today we're going to look at gratitude. Gratitude is a term that we hear a lot recently, but it's more than just a feel-good practice. It's scientifically validated. It's an incredible way to improve our mental well-being, but also importantly our physical well-being. Dr. Andrew Huberman, who's a neuroscientist from Stanford University, has extensively studied the effects that gratitude has on the brain and the body. And his research, similar to the research we found in lesson 4 with Dr. Sarah Lazar, is nothing short of mind-blowing. When he was studying people's brains and bodies, he found that practicing gratitude started to improve their emotion regulation. And that's because its incredible influence on our reward system. It meant that people were able to engage with more positive emotions and therefore felt they had more control over their decision making. Emotion resilience was next. This is something we've touched on many times. Gratitude practice reduced the activity of the amygdala. You might remember from lesson 4 that this is the part of the brain that is associated with stress and anxiety and fight or flight. Simultaneously, it increased the hormone oxytocin. Oxytocin is the love hormone. It's the hormone that's connected to practices that are termed pro-social behaviours. These are behaviours that we engage in that help us feel more connected to ourselves, but importantly, more connected to the people and the world around us. And that's so incredibly valuable for us humans, because if we feel more connected to the world around us and the people around us, even if we don't know them intimately, it means that we feel less stressed, we perceive the world as less of a threat, and more that we are able to be part of something, that we offer something. And studies have shown that this is one of the most important things that we can do for our well-being and health, just as important as exercising, as walking, as running, as going to the gym. He also found that practicing gratitude improved our physical health. It helps with things such as reducing inflammation, improving sleep, and even supporting cardiovascular health, heart and lung health. Just absolutely incredible. Importantly, during the practice, he emphasized that we need to feel it physically. We need to include our bodies like we did in previous lessons. Rather than just thinking of things that we're grateful for, it's about reliving memories, reliving specific moments of gratitude, hearing stories of gratitude from the people around us, connecting with the people around us and sharing in what they're grateful for. Because that reinforces and hardwires these changes into our brain. And just like we learned in lesson 4, when we practice these techniques more consistently and more frequently, rather than just feel better, we can see and display physical changes within the cell structure of our brain and our physical tissues, meaning that we each have the confidence that this stuff works. And that leads us back to the title of this course, to learn to connect. Connection is fundamentally human. We are social creatures. And one of the surefire ways to help us get more from life, to help us live longer, is to improve our connection to ourselves, our thoughts and our emotions, so we get a better relationship with them. As we said in that first session, we can get the opportunity to discern which thoughts are insightful and which ones are better to let go. We can improve the way in which we feel emotion, so we're not so possessed by it, we're not so overwhelmed by it, but also that we don't feel we need to block emotions. And importantly, these practices help us connect with the world around us. Deeper, richer relationships, which again help us feel this sense of safety, that we can thrive in the world rather than desperately try to survive in it. That's where we'll close lesson 5. Thank you very much for joining me on this course. I hope you very much enjoy our last practice together, and I hope to see you a little further down the line, whether that's online, in person, or maybe on Learn to Connect Part 2.